Hi, hi. Well, I wanted to ask you, what sort of book do you want written about yourself? An autobiography of all your superb, fantastic deeds that you've made throughout your life, and one that does not record your darkest thoughts and your darkest actions. Well, we do actually write our own biographies. We're writing our own books of life as we live them, obviously. And we're not the only ones making a record of our lives. There are angels making records of our lives, apparently. I like to think this is happening. I think this is true. There's an angel writing down everything that you do, every action, every thought, every deed that we make. So you are writing your own book of your own life, but maybe you're not the one that's actually scribbling it down. Instead, it's these angels making records of them. This is your life is going to happen when pass over, you die, you move on to the next realm. That book of life is going to be brought out. I'm sure you've heard many times that people say, when you die, your whole life runs before you. Well, as Terry Pratchett says, that is life. Your whole life is happening before you die. But this record's being made and it's going to be shown to you when you pass over into the next realm. This book, what sort of book do you want about your life? What do you want written in there? Because it's all truth in there. No lies, no fake news, no researchers looking up and trying to guess or suspect or assimilate your life and make it a different story. It's all what actually happened. So, who else can read this book? This I'm wondering. I wonder if this book of your life, once you've passed over and died, it's up there in the heavens or whatever for you to read. Maybe other people to read. You want other people to read your book, to know what you've been up to in this lifetime. And I wonder if it's part of this Akashic Records. Now, Rudolf Steiner says the Akashic Records isn't all the actions that actually happen. He says it's all the thoughts and the deeds that go on in our minds and our hearts that makes the Akashic Record, which I find quite interesting. It's not a actual record of, well, most things do happen through thoughts and deeds, obviously. But he's saying it's a recollection of everything that you've thought about, everything you've pondered upon, everything you've mused about. So that's Steiner's version. I think the Akashic Record is an actual record of everything that's happened. And I believe that it shows the past, present and future, which means things could be fated, which is why I think, I've said this before about what Gurdjieff says is we're here to break our astrology. Let's try and break that fate. And if things are fated, well, then we haven't got the ability to do something about ourselves, because whatever we're doing has already been written. And if it's already been written, why do they need to write down a book to be shown to us when we die? So I think things could be fated, more in the case of that most people do very mechanical lives. But if you're waking up and breaking out of that mechanical life, then it's no longer fated and you can change it and do what you want to do. And then make that book of your life be what you want it to be. What do you want it to be? It's a record of every type of action you've done in your life. Every part of your lifetime is written in this book. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fun, the devilish, the things that you did which were very not good for your soul, and all the wonderful things you did do for your soul. So what type of book do you want written? This is something you maybe should be thinking about when you're doing certain actions that you know are not good. And think, I don't know if I want to reread that when I die. And instead do the right thing. Because a lot of the things we do that don't make us feel good is really not following our conscience and not following, well, it's the easy route out of ignoring this when we should be doing something, or cheating here because it's a quick, easy way to get to there, when really we should take the long route round because it's more honest and more... Sorry, my camera shot wobbled then. Maybe it's the angels sending me messages. So what I'm trying to say in this little film is that angels cannot lie. That's one of the important things. They're going to be writing down everything that you're doing. You know, as many of you know, angels is another word for messenger. And what do messengers do? They bring the message of what's happened before. So these angels are writing down everything of what you're doing in this life now. And what sort of book do you want to see when you die? As I've already said, it'd be nice if we could all read that our lives were so angelic and that we did good deeds all the time. There's going to be a pretty lot of flinching when I read my book of my life from my early years. Hopefully I've changed from all that and become a better person and using my conscience more to live truthfully, honestly, and having a better book at the end of it. You know, what sort of book do you want to have written about yourself? We're writing them books. We're writing our lives. And that record. And, you know, for those that are into reincarnation, I'm sure that book of this life that you're living now will influence the next life that you're going into. It will, you know, if we're doing recurrence, maybe we've got to read that book so that we can try and remember how we mucked up this life and that we can make it better in the next life. That book's there. Maybe we can reach up to it. Actually, I'm just having a thought now. Ta-da! Maybe we can reach up into that book of the previous time we lived this life, if you follow recurrence, where we live the same life over and over again until we perfect it. Maybe we can reach up into the previous times we've done this life and learn from that book. Just some ideas. Sorry, cats come to see me. So, your book of life. What's it going to be? Let's all write great, big, wonderful books about ourselves. I look forward to reading your books of your lives. You know, when we pass over and meet up in the next realm. Peace. Watching me, watching you.